Hi, this is Josh with Retro TV One Tech, and today I'm really excited because I just got a brand new Super Nintendo game right here in 2023. The game is called Petscii Robots, and it's written by David Murray, better known as the 8-Bit Guy, from the YouTube channel of the same name. So David originally wrote this game for the Commodore PET, one of the earliest computers that Commodore ever produced. And he wrote the game using something called Petscii characters, or Petscii graphics. And basically what a Petscii character is it's a text character, and instead of being like a letter or a number, it's a type of little picture made up of a certain number of pixels in a certain design. And so David used these different Petscii characters to make tiles and to make actually rudimentary graphics for the game, and it turned out really, really well. Probably the best game ever made for the Commodore PET. Really, really cool. You can explore around, different levels and destroy all the robots and all kinds of cool things. But the game was so popular for the Commodore PET that several other people decided to port it for several other different systems. And so this is the latest port for the Super Nintendo. And one special thing about this version is that the Super Nintendo controller has been used to control Petscii Robots in every version up to and including the original Commodore PET version. David made an adapter along with Texelec so that you could use a Super Nintendo controller on the Commodore PET through the user port. So that's pretty cool. So now, finally, we have a version of this game that actually uses the actual Super Nintendo controller on its own system. So that's pretty cool. So I'm excited. Let's get this unboxing done. Let's see what's in the box. Let's check it out, and then let's play it a little bit. And I apologize in advance for the audio differences. I'm working on getting a wireless mic, but haven't gotten it yet, so I know it's a little bit weird when I'm far back from the camera. But anyway, let's unbox this thing. All right. So now this one didn't come in an actual special box for the system just because of the expense of making that kind of thing. And that's honestly fine with me because I don't really have room to store such a box and I would feel bad about throwing it away. But this one obviously is fine to throw away because it's just nondescript. But the packaging is really good with the bubble wrap. You can see the cartridge right in there. It's got some instruction books I can see from here. So let's get everything out here. There we go. So inside the bubble wrap is another package. You can clearly see the cartridge. The artwork is really, really nice for this. It really looks like an original Super Nintendo cartridge. It's just so cool. Like, I haven't bought one of these since, probably the mid-90s. And I believe the last Super Nintendo game was made, at least in the US, in like 1997 or 98, around that time frame. And so it's pretty cool to see another one of these here in 2023. So let's get this opened up, and we'll take a look at what's inside. All right, so here we go. So first of all, let's take a look at the cartridge because, wow, this is really cool. I mean, even the texture of it is really pretty authentic to what an original Super Nintendo cartridge would have felt like. Pretty cool. The plastic feels just about the same. Seems maybe a little bit lighter. That's probably just because of improvements in materials and things over the years. You can see the cartridge connector there. And of course on the back there would have been all the copyrights and everything else, but the case itself is still molded like an original Nintendo cartridge would be. Of course, it's not officially licensed by Nintendo, so it doesn't have any of those warnings on it. It does have a nice little top label on it. A lot of the Super Nintendo and Nintendo cartridges, they had those edge labels so that you could kind of stack them up in whatever storage system that you chose back in that time. So that looks great. So before we look at the instructions, I want to compare this to a couple other Super Nintendo cartridges. So again, here's Petscii Robots. And actually you can tell it's quite different from Final Fantasy II, and this was the original cartridge design for the Super Nintendo. You can tell there's not this indented version here. It's just the locking mechanism right here, which actually locks the cartridge in place when you turn on the power. The connector is the same, and everything else is fairly similar. You can see the warning labels and things on the back as opposed to this one. Of course, again, this isn't officially Nintendo sanctioned, so that's why you don't see the Nintendo logo at the bottom. But you can see the warnings and stuff on the back. That's a little bit different. But actually, this version, Super Mario RPG, which is actually one of those games that's pretty well sought after by collectors, so I'm super excited to have it. I don't have the box for it, but this one has a very similar cartridge design on the bottom. So you can actually see the indentation, the screws are in the same place, and everything else. I'll turn it over on the back here real quick. And you can see, again, the warnings and everything else. But other than the warnings, it's all the same, except, of course, on the bottom, And I believe Super Mario RPG has the Super FX chip, and I think a couple other special chips in it, which is why it has the extra connectors at the bottom of it, as opposed to Petscii Robots, which doesn't need those things. So anyway, just thought it'd be fun to compare this new cartridge with some original Super Nintendo cartridges. All right, so here's the main instruction manual, and over here is a special insert for the Super Nintendo version with some special controls on it. So you can see this is the Amiga edition of the manual, and I believe David was trying to save cost by not just printing special Super Nintendo versions of the manual, which is just fine. A lot of it's the same. But this is a really nice manual, full color graphics, very, very well printed, and I know it's an expense to print all these, and then if you don't use all of them, I know that's a little bit of an issue there. And you can see basically the Super Nintendo version uses the same graphics as the Amiga version, so you can see the differences between the Amiga and the Commodore 64. And David has a little note there, so talking about the different programmers that helped and all of the different information about this. But really, really highly encouraged. There's Vesa, who is the developer on the Amiga. I think maybe he helped some with the Super Nintendo version as well. I'm not sure. You can see you can use a Genesis compatible controller for the Amiga version, but there we go. So there is the Super Nintendo controller. That's how that works. And so I guess there's an adapter for that. But either way, there's also keyboard controls if you're playing this on a computer. Of course, Super Nintendo doesn't have that option, but on the Amiga you can do that. But what you really want to look at when you buy this game is really reading the instructions. And it tells you a little bit of the story and things like that. The biggest thing is it might look like, you see the second paragraph, it might look like an action shooter game, but it's really not. It's kind of more of a strategy and exploration game, and David hits on this a lot in his videos. Yes, you do have weapons, but you can't win just by, like a Contra type game or a Commando where you just run around and just shoot people and try not to get shot. You're not going to win that way because the robots are too powerful. But you do have to get to the teleporter to exit the level in every settlement. And the idea is brains or brawn. Definitely the idea here is to use brains so that you can get yourself out of the level. So, it shows all the different things here. It shows like different doors, file cabinets, sinks, air conditioners, and a lot of these you can search for different things. Like in the very beginning, you search your lander to find the first gun. Then it tells you about all the weapons and so on and so forth. So I'm not going to go through the whole book here, but this is some of the main weapons, the pistol, and then the much more powerful plasma gun, EMP, time bomb. There's even a magnet. I think that's probably on the next page, like magnets. Yep. Tells you about the enemy robots, the hoverbot, the rollerbot, which is a little more powerful, and then the evil bot, which is insanely powerful. And it tells you how many hit points they have too. So 20 points. It would take 20 shots from the pistol or 2 large explosions to kill. So rollerbots are easier to either kill with a bomb or to disable with an EMP, and then kill with a plasma gun or something like that. Evil bot, you really have to be strategic in destroying him. 75 shots or 7 explosions. Or there's other ways to do that too, which we'll show you a little bit later. But anyway, this is a great manual. And one of the things that I want to show you in here, and I apologize for the glare there, the pages are shiny, but is you get maps on every single level in here. It doesn't show you where all the robots are, but it does give you some hints. Don't forget to search your lander, find the first key in the big desk. So David's really giving you a lot of hints here. And if you just read the book, the manual here, you really will have a heads up on things. And, in modern games, I think people are used to not reading the manual, but back in the days of Super Nintendo and regular Nintendo games, it was essential to read the manual or you wouldn't know what to do. I remember renting games from the, Blockbuster in the video store, and you didn't know what to do because there was no manual with it. So it's essential to read this manual. You can see some of the other levels here, and it gives you basically a little bit of a background there. 2 evil bots are guarding a fuel canister. So there's just so many different levels and everything. Here's one with like a bunch of islands on it. So it's really, really good to have this. And of course, when you do get the game, you also do get a PDF download of this same thing that you can look at on your computer. You also get a Super Nintendo ROM so that you can play it on an emulator as well. But I was obviously most interested and excited to play it on the original hardware because I do still have my Super Nintendo. So there's the rest of the maps there. That was pretty cool. Bunker, it's like all underground type thing. And there's the last one there, Castle Robot. Really cool. It does look like a castle. And the artwork is really just beautiful. And you can see there the 8-Bit Guy logo and everything. So really fantastic effort by the 8-Bit Guy and all of his collaborators on this. And then here you can see the Super Nintendo specific instructions here. Move object and search object are the L and R shoulder buttons, respectively. You've got movement. Start is using item. And then the select button combined with back buttons to change items and weapons. So that's good. I would assume that means the shoulder buttons. And then fire weapons in all directions. So basically, if you do X, it's firing up, B is firing down, A is right, and Y is firing left. So then you can open a map by pushing select and left on the D-pad. Pause exit game is select and start, and select and the right D-pad would be toggle music. So I think you can actually toggle the music to different tracks if you'd like to try different things there. And the music was by Noel Amon. You can see the artwork by Piotr, and then Govak Lemesi, I believe, was the coder for the Super Nintendo version. And this is telling you all the systems that it's available for. And I believe there's even more now. So that's an insane amount of systems. I just have this version. I have a shareware pet version, and then I bought the MS-DOS version, so I'll show that in another video. So there's also an online tutorial right there. There's a Facebook group and all kinds of cool things. So yeah, it gives you a lot of information if you just read all the documentation on how to play the game. So with that in mind, let's play it. All right, I apologize for the mess here a little bit. I need to straighten this up a little bit, but this is my video game console setup here. It is all running through this 8-port switch here, so I don't have to switch things around. And I do have the nice Panasonic CRT here, so that's helpful for getting a good image on the games. And of course, I am going to have a little glare because I am filming this in the daytime, but that's okay. I'll try and angle the camera appropriately. I know my Super Nintendo needs RetroBite, but one of these days I will do that. I'm just a little nervous because it does work and hate taking stuff apart that works, but it would look better if I RetroBited the top for sure. All right, so here we go. First time a brand new cartridge has been plugged into this machine since the mid-90s, at least. Just slides right in there. All right, power on the TV. And let's get this thing turned on. All right, here we go. Wow, looks great. Listen to that. I hear a little bit of stereo there too. This is a stereo TV. The music great. I'm gonna adjust the difficulty here. So there's the hard difficulty. You can see the robot gets angry there. Now the robot's happy, that's easy. There's normal, and there's hard with his eyes red. So we'll do green, we'll do the easy mode. There we go. I know we're at a little bit of an angle, but I'm trying to minimize the more powder on the screen. So you can see some of the credits on the bottom there. Alright, so we'll go ahead and do the first map, the research lab. Yeah, graphics look great. Oh my goodness. Alright, so let's go get the pistol out of our ship. We'll use the left shoulder button to search our ship, and we found a pistol. So you can see actually that the character is actually holding a pistol now, so that's a nice little touch. You can see my health meter in the top right, the weapon and item and the keys at the top. So I believe there's a card there. So one of the things I want to show you right away is that how not to play the game. You don't want to get into a shootout with these robots. Now these hoverbots will not shoot at you at first, but if you shoot at them, they will shoot at you and you will die very quickly. Watch. See how my health is going down. Now I was able to kill him, but I lost a significant amount of health. Now if I try that over here, so that's, you can kind of go at it like that with the hoverbots, but you're going to die pretty quickly. So you see my health is already just above 75%. So lots of hoverbots around here, but over here there's, well, first of all, there's the evil bot, but he's locked in there for now, so he's not a threat right now. But over here is a roller bot, and every time he lines up with me on the XY axis here, he will kill me. And if I try and shoot him, he's going to kill me very quickly. So you're not going to win the game that way. So just to kind of show you the way not to play it, if you try like that, you're like, oh my gosh, this game is too hard. But it's actually not. You just have to use a little bit of strategy. So we're going to set it back to easy difficulty. And I'll show you the right way to play the game. So again, as a shoot 'em up, doesn't work at all. And if you try it, you're going to be very, very frustrated. So don't do that. All right, so here we go. Let's go back in and let's try it the right way. So we're going to search. Now, one of the cool things that you can do is you can take these chairs and you can move them. And so this is an easy way to defeat a hoverbot, like this guy right here. Now, as he gets closer to me, I can shoot him, but he can't shoot me back because there's a chair in the way. So there you go. So I just killed that hoverbot. I did not lose any life at all. I could do the same thing with this guy, but I won't do that right now. I love the detail, by the way. There's like little bathrooms and stuff in here. It's a really, really fun game. In here, there's a lot of items to search from. And again, these hoverbots won't bother me unless I bother them. So there's a med kit just in case I do get shot. And then I'm going to start moving some of these things out of the way. Let that hoverbot move. And that way I can search in these crates. Wait, I don't know how to move that. There we go. Sometimes I forget which button to push, but there's some bombs. That's very helpful. And in there, there's more ammo for the pistol. So now I've got 255 ammo. Now the cool thing about this is, too, I can actually get rid of this guy pretty quickly without even using any bombs. I can just move this box, and he's dead. And he couldn't shoot me one time, so that's pretty cool. Now, let's go around and we'll find a few other things in here. I'll show you how to deal with the roller bots. Are a little bit harder to deal with. And he's probably going to shoot me, but I'll run away. Okay, let's see. There's a roller bot in the cafeteria, too. I believe in here, in this little file cabinet, there is something. Yep, there's a med kit, and then somewhere, oops, I can't remember, over here somewhere there is another item that's going to help us. There's our key. I believe in the bed down here. Is there something? There's another pistol. I don't think there's anything up here. The good news is you don't have to search both sides of the bed. If you search one part of an item, you search the whole thing, basically, so that's really helpful. Let's see if I can go up here real quick. I'll search up here. Somewhere around here is the plasma gun. There's the magnet. That's very helpful. I also want to find the EMP so I can show you how that's used. So again, that rollerbot's going to get me, but I'm just going to let him shoot me a little bit. I've still got my health if I need to. So there's a magnet. Alright, so let me move these out of the way. He would love to shoot me, but he can't. I could actually shoot him through this window, but he's not lining up with the window. But I can sit right here and he can try and shoot me as much as he wants, and he can't shoot through the wall. Sorry. You get the plasma gun and the EMP, and I believe it's down here. Yeah, right here. Okay, so let's search these here real quick. Keep hitting the move button. That's my fault. There we go. So now we have all the keys, so technically we could unleash the evil bot, but we're not going to do that because we're not stupid. We're not ready for him yet. So the EMP is good because it will deactivate all the robots in the area. Alright, so let me cycle through my items here. First of all, I'm going to use my med kit, and then I should be able to cycle through some items here. So there's the magnet, there's the bomb, there's the EMP. So I'm going to use the EMP to defeat this roller bot. So here we go. Watch this. So he's going to be. Oops, he has to be on the screen. Well, shoot. Hold on. Alright, so let's use this EMP to defeat this roller bot. Alright, so here we go. Alright, so that wasn't the best way to do that. Probably the best way to be to switch to bombs and get him that way. But either way, that's one way to do it. Fill back up on my health there a little bit. Now another way to defeat one of these guys is to put a magnet in his path. And watch this. So now he doesn't know what to do. Now let's put another magnet in his path. He has to run over it though. Come here. Come here, buddy. Now. Okay, so now we can shoot him. There we go. And you can use bombs. That's probably an easier way to do it. And the easiest way to kill some of these hoverbots too is with bombs. Let me show you how to use the bombs here real quick. And again, this guy won't attack me unless I attack him. So, I'm just going to put a bomb right here in his path. Get out of the way. And he's gone. Now it takes 2 bombs to kill a roller bot. And I believe I already killed the roller bots, so we can't do that. Evil bot takes like 10 or something, so that's not even worth Not even worth trying, but you can get one of these guys, again, really easily. Just put the bomb in the way, get out of the way, and you're good to go. Now, probably what I could have done, and I didn't do it, is I could have used the plasma gun. I can change weapons by holding select and then pushing the upper right button. So there's the plasma gun. So I'll shoot the plasma gun just so you can see it in action. So it kind of, it has a lot more explosive capability. So you can see that. Just like incinerated those bushes over there. Anyway, alright. Let's go ahead and dispense with this particular evil bot down here. Now there's a few ways to do this. The best way to do it is to get him into this trash compactor. You can see he really wants to get me, like really bad. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let him loose. I'm going to hit the EMP so he can't get me, because if he touches me a couple times, I'm dead. But I'm going to get him to walk into this trash compactor, and there's a few ways to do that. You can actually set up chairs and kind of confuse him into walking in there and kind of walk into this upper room and make him walk in that way. But another way to do it is to walk outside. So let me release him. Then I'm going to hit the EMP so he can't get me, and then I'll go outside and make him walk in the trash compactor. So here we go. Ready? I gotta let him out. Alright, so here we go. Oh, I gotta actually let him out. Well, shoot. It says nearby robots are rebooting. So when he's rebooted, I'll let him out again. Okay, there we go. Alright. Now I gotta get out of here. Now watch this. Oops. Wait a minute. Okay, let me get out of here. He's coming to get me. Watch this. I believe he'll come and get me down here. Nope. I may have lost him. He's confused. Alright, I started a new game just since I messed up where the evil bot was last time. I'm a little out of practice on this, but I know the basics of it. I just need to practice more. But it is a super fun game to learn and try and master. So here, I'm going to use the EMP and the plasma gun to get this roller bot. Alright, so here we go. But you got to get kind of a little bit further away from him. So it's just 2 shots. Take care of him. We can do the same thing with the one in the cafeteria. So he's already trying to shoot me. So then we have to get a little bit away from him. About 3 squares away, 1, 2, and then he's on the 3rd square. So I guess 2 squares of space. If you're within those 2 squares, you will get shot and you will die. So that's not a cool thing. But all right, let's go try the evil bot again, and we're gonna do the EMP, and hopefully we can get him to go through that particular door there. So I'm gonna open the door, let him out. Okay, so now let me see if I can get out of here quickly enough. And hopefully he will come over here and see me. There we go. Boom! And that's the end of that. So that's one way to kill the evil bot. It says, you're terminated. Now, I could go through and kill the rest of the robots in the level. I'm not going to take time to do that right now. But once you kill all the robots in the level, evil bot's gone, so he's not a threat anymore. Once you kill all the robots in the level, this teleporter will activate and the level will be over. So that's super fun. It's a great game, a lot of fun, very creative. Again, you have to use strategy. You can't just go in and shoot at things, and you can see several times I messed up and I paid for it. So it's not an easy game by any stretch of the imagination, but I think that's okay because, you know, it makes it more fun. There's a learning curve to it. There's so many different ways to kill the robots. That's what's cool. I mean, like literally even like this is one of my favorite ways, you know, just like literally move a box in his way and then shoot through the box. Another way is to shoot through a window, but there you go. Oh, I had the plasma gun. I forgot. Either way, that worked fine. You know, but you can also shoot through a window. Like if there's a robot outside that you can see through a window. I'm not sure if there's any. I think there are. So if I go around the back here, you can shoot some of these guys through a window. Let me see if I can find one that's near a window. Let's see. Yeah, so I can shoot through that window. This guy is not. Oh, there we go. So I can kill him through the window and he can't get me. So there's several different ways to do this. You really just have to be creative, find your own way to make it happen and to get all the robots killed, and then you're ready to go. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed this. And again, if I just killed the last of the remaining hoverbots, it would be fine. And you can see where they all are. How many are there? So you can see the flashing dots there. So you can see there are several robots left in several different areas of the game. Let me zoom in a little bit so you can see that better. You see all the flashing dots? Those are all the robots. You can push the A button to toggle the robots on and off. Yeah, so I hope that's helpful. If you want to buy a brand new Super Nintendo game in 2023, play it, master it. Again, it's not just another shoot 'em up game. It's something a lot more fun and something just truly creative. So hats off to David, the 8-bit guy, and all the people who have created this game and all the people who help with the different ports. Certainly a fun game, a fun project, and it's really brought the community together to create so many awesome ports like this one. So All right, everybody. Well, that's all for now for this Petscii Robots unboxing and review of the Super Nintendo version. Hope you enjoyed the video. Definitely be sure to subscribe, hit the like, all those things. Leave a comment. Let me know if you'd like to see more reviews of new games like this. It's really cool. The community's developing new software for these older consoles all the time. And so we'll check out more if you like this one. And again, definitely go check this out. If you want to buy this game, you just go to the8bitguy.com. He's got several different versions depending on what type of hardware that you have. Or even if you don't have any type of console hardware, you can even just get it and run it on an emulator on your modern computer, and that works great as well. So again, go to the8bitguy.com if you want to buy Petscii Robots. There's also shareware versions available, so if you don't want to buy the game right away, or if you're not sure if you like it or not, definitely go and download one of the shareware versions, and you can try that out, kind of try before you buy, like the original old school shareware. Gives you like 1 or 2 levels to try out, and so that's highly recommended as well. And definitely big props again to the 8-Bit Guy and everybody who worked on this super fun game. And that's all for now. So for now, enjoy that tech and keep it retro.